Hey there. You're exhausted, aren't you? Not just physically tired, but tired deep in your soul. Tired of trying. Tired of pushing. Tired of the constant tension you've been holding in your body. You've been carrying so much for so long, without real rest, without truly letting go, without allowing yourself to just stop. Your shoulders are probably up by your ears right now. Your jaw is probably clenched. Your whole body is probably tight, braced against the world, holding on to control because letting go feels too scary. And you're tired of it. Tired of the constant tension. Tired of always pushing forward. Tired of feeling like you have to keep going no matter what. Tired of everything. Maybe you're lying here tonight, wondering how much longer you can do this. How much more you can take. How you're going to find the energy to face tomorrow when you're already so depleted. Take a breath with me. Just one breath. And as you exhale, see if you can let your shoulders drop just a little, just enough to feel the difference. That tension you're holding, it's not protecting you. It's exhausting you. The constant pushing forward, it's not helping you. It's depleting you. Tonight, let's talk about something you desperately need. Something you've been denying yourself. Something that feels impossible, but is actually essential. Rest. Real rest. Not just stopping activity, but releasing the tension. Letting go of the constant push. Allowing your body and mind to actually recover. You don't have to keep going tonight. You don't have to push through. You don't have to maintain the tension. You can release. You can soften. You can rest. Your body needs it. Your mind needs it. Your soul needs it. You've been running on empty for too long. You've been pushing past your limits. You've been ignoring the signals that you need to stop. And tonight, those signals are loud. The exhaustion is overwhelming. The tension is unbearable. The tiredness of everything is consuming. So let's do something different tonight. Let's practice what your body has been begging for. Let's give yourself what you've been desperately needing. Let's rest. Really rest. Not tomorrow. Not when everything is done. But now. Tonight. Right here. You've earned this. You need this. And despite what your mind might be telling you, The world won't fall apart if you rest. So let your jaw unclench. Let your shoulders melt down. Let your whole body soften into the bed beneath you. You're safe. You can let go. You can rest. Tonight is for releasing the tension you've been carrying, for remembering what rest actually feels like, for allowing yourself to truly, deeply stop. You deserve this. You need this. And tonight, you're going to give yourself permission to have it. You know why you're so tired. It's not just because you're doing too much. It's because you never truly rest. Even when you're not actively doing something, you're still holding tension, still bracing, still preparing for what might come next, still mentally working, still emotionally carrying. Your body never gets to fully relax because your mind never stops being vigilant. Your muscles never get to release because you're always ready for the next demand. Your nervous system never gets to settle because you're constantly on alert. That's exhausting. More exhausting than the actual tasks you're doing. More depleting than the actual challenges you're facing. Because tension requires energy. Constant bracing burns fuel. Perpetual readiness depletes resources. And you've been doing it for so long that you don't even notice anymore. The tension has become your normal. The holding has become habitual. The perpetual state of readiness has become background noise you don't even hear. But your body hears it. Your body feels it. And your body is exhausted from it. So tonight, we're going to do something different. We're going to practice actual rest. Not just stopping activity, but releasing tension, letting go of holding, allowing your nervous system to settle. Start with your face. Notice how much tension you're holding there. Your forehead, your eyes, your jaw. Can you soften it? Can you let it release? Now your neck and shoulders. Notice how much you're gripping there, how much you're holding. Can you let it drop? Can you allow gravity to pull your shoulders down? Your chest and stomach. Notice if you're holding your breath, if you're tightening against feeling. Can you breathe fully? Can you let your belly soften? All the way down through your legs and feet. Notice where you're still holding, still tensing, still bracing. Can you release it? Can you let go? This is what rest actually feels like. Not just stopping activity, but releasing tension, letting go of holding, allowing your body to be soft instead of braced. And it might feel vulnerable. It might feel scary, because you've been using tension as protection, holding as safety, bracing as control. But the tension isn't actually protecting you. It's just exhausting you. The holding isn't making you safer. It's just depleting you. The bracing isn't giving you control. It's just tiring you. So practice letting go. Trust that you can be soft and still be okay. Trust that you can release and still be safe. Trust that rest is not just allowed, but necessary. Your body needs this. Your nervous system needs this. You need this. So give it to yourself, without guilt, without fear, without holding back. Release. Soften. Rest. That's what tonight is for.
Now let's talk about why you're tired of pushing forward. Tired of constantly striving. Tired of the endless effort. You've been in effort mode for too long. Always trying to get ahead. Always pushing toward something. Always working toward the next goal. Without pause. Without rest. Without allowing yourself to just be where you are. And that's exhausting. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Because it means you're never satisfied, never at peace, never able to appreciate where you are. Today is never enough because you're focused on tomorrow. What you've accomplished is never enough because there's always more to do. Who you are is never enough because you're always trying to become someone else. That constant pushing, that endless striving, that perpetual dissatisfaction, it's wearing you out, making you tired of everything, making you feel like you can't keep going. So what if you stopped, just for tonight? What if you released the need to be somewhere other than where you are? What if you allowed yourself to be satisfied with today, with right now, with who you are in this moment? Not giving up on growth, not abandoning your goals, but releasing the constant, exhausting push toward them. Just for tonight. Just while you rest. Trusting that rest is part of progress. That pauses are part of productivity. That being satisfied with where you are doesn't mean you'll stay there forever. It just means you're giving yourself a break from the constant dissatisfaction, from the endless pushing, from the exhausting striving. You can want more and still appreciate what you have. You can work toward goals and still rest along the way. You can grow and change and still be satisfied with who you are right now. Those things aren't opposites. They're actually complementary. Because sustainable growth requires rest. Healthy striving requires satisfaction. Real progress requires peace with the present. So tonight, practice that. Practice being satisfied with where you are. Practice releasing the push toward where you're not yet. Practice resting in this moment instead of constantly reaching for the next one. You're allowed to stop pushing. You're allowed to be satisfied. You're allowed to rest. Not forever, not permanently, just for tonight. And maybe, just maybe, you'll discover that rest doesn't make you lazy, that satisfaction doesn't make you stagnant, that releasing the constant push doesn't make you lose your way. Actually, it might do the opposite. It might give you the energy you need to continue. It might provide the peace that allows real clarity. It might offer the rest that makes sustainable progress possible. So stop pushing. Just for tonight. Just while you rest. Tomorrow will come with its own demands, but tonight, you can release them. You can be here. You can rest. Without guilt, without anxiety, without the constant pressure to be doing more, achieving more, becoming more. Just rest. Just be. Just breathe. That's enough for tonight. Here's something important. You're tired of everything because you've been giving too much and receiving too little. You're constantly pouring out, giving to others, taking care of things, handling responsibilities, solving problems, being there for everyone and everything. But when do you receive? When do you get filled up? When do you allow yourself to take in instead of constantly pouring out? Probably not often enough. Probably not nearly as much as you're giving. And that creates depletion. Deep, profound depletion that makes you tired of everything. Because you're running on empty. You've given and given until there's nothing left. And now everything feels like too much because you have nothing left to give. That's not a character flaw. That's not weakness. That's just what happens when output exceeds input for too long. When you're always giving and never receiving, when you're always depleting and never replenishing. So what do you need? What would fill you? What would restore you? Maybe it's time alone. Maybe it's connection with the right people. Maybe it's creative expression. Maybe it's time in nature. Maybe it's simply doing nothing. Whatever it is, you need to prioritize receiving, filling up, restoring. Not as a luxury, not as something you'll do when everything else is done, but as a necessity, as something essential for your survival. Because if you keep giving from empty, you'll burn out completely. You'll have nothing left, not just for others, but for yourself. So tonight, start receiving, even if it's just receiving rest, even if it's just allowing yourself to be filled by sleep, even if it's just this quiet moment of not giving anything to anyone. That's receiving. That's restoration. That's necessary. And tomorrow, think about what else you need to receive. What else would fill you? What else would restore your energy? And then make it a priority. Not when everything else is done, but regularly, consistently, as essential self-care. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have. You can't sustain output without input. So receive, fill up, restore. It's not selfish. It's necessary. It's how you sustain your ability to give. It's how you avoid total burnout. It's how you maintain your well-being. So what do you need to receive? What would fill you? What would restore you? Think about it, and then make it happen. Not someday, soon, regularly. Because you're tired of everything. Because you're depleted. And the solution isn't to push through. It's to restore, to fill up, to receive. So do that. Starting tonight with rest. Continuing tomorrow with whatever else you need. Receive. Fill up. Restore. Your tired self needs it. Your depleted energy needs it. Your exhausted spirit needs it. So give it to yourself, without guilt, without apology, without waiting for permission. You need to receive. So receive. That's how you recover from being tired of everything. That's how you restore your energy. That's how you find the capacity to continue. Let me tell you about real rest, deep rest, the kind that actually restores you instead of just temporarily stopping. Real rest isn't just lying down. It's not just being physically still. It's releasing everything. The tension, the worry, the mental planning, the constant thinking. Real rest is letting your mind be as quiet as your body, allowing your thoughts to settle, giving your nervous system permission to actually calm down. And that's hard for you, isn't it? Because even when your body is still, your mind is racing. Even when you're lying in bed, your thoughts are spinning. Even when you're trying to rest, you're mentally working. That's not rest. That's just physical stillness with mental activity. And it doesn't restore you the way real rest does. So tonight, practice true rest. Not just physical stillness, but mental quietness. When thoughts come, and they will, don't engage with them. Don't follow them. Don't solve the problems they present. Just notice them and let them pass, like clouds moving across the sky. Acknowledge them without engaging. There's a thought about tomorrow. Notice. Release. There's worry about that thing. Notice. Release. There's planning for next week. Notice. Release. Don't fight the thoughts. Don't judge yourself for having them. Just don't engage. Don't follow. Don't get pulled into the mental activity. That's how you create mental rest. Through non-engagement. Through letting thoughts pass without grabbing onto them. And over time, with practice, your mind learns to settle. The thoughts slow down. The mental chatter quiets. The constant thinking eases. And that's when real rest happens. When both body and mind are still. When you're not just physically stopped, but mentally quiet. When your whole system is actually resting, instead of just pretending to. That's restorative. That's healing. That's what your exhausted system needs. Not just stopping activity, but actual, complete, deep rest. So practice it tonight. Physical stillness and mental quietness. Releasing not just activity, but also the constant thinking about activity. Let your body rest. Let your mind rest. Let your whole system actually, truly rest. Not thinking about tomorrow. Not worrying about anything. Not planning or problem solving or mentally working. Just being. Just breathing. Just resting. That's what you need. That's what will restore you. That's what will help you feel less tired of everything. So give yourself that gift. Real rest. Deep rest. Complete rest. Body and mind. Activity and thinking. Doing and planning. Release it all. Just for tonight. Just while you sleep. Let yourself truly, deeply, completely rest. That's what your tired self needs. That's what your exhausted system craves. That's what will actually restore you. So do it. Without guilt. Without reservation. Without half measures. Rest. Really, truly, deeply rest. 5. Here's something you need to understand. Your tiredness, your tension, your exhaustion. It's your body's way of telling you something important. Slow down. You're going too fast. You're doing too much. This pace is not sustainable. But you've been ignoring those signals, overriding them, pushing through them, telling yourself you're fine, telling yourself you can handle it, telling yourself you just need to get through this busy period and then you'll rest. But the busy period never ends. There's always something else. Always another deadline. Always another demand. So you never rest. And your body's messages get louder, more insistent, more urgent. The tension increases. The tiredness deepens. The exhaustion becomes overwhelming. The feeling of being tired of everything becomes all-consuming. Because your body is trying to get your attention. It's trying to tell you something you need to hear. Stop. Rest. Slow down. This isn't sustainable. And tonight, maybe it's time to listen. Maybe it's time to honor those signals instead of overriding them. Maybe it's time to trust that your body knows what it needs, because it does. Your body knows when it needs rest. Your nervous system knows when it's overwhelmed. Your whole system knows when it's been pushed too far. The signals are there. The tiredness, the tension, the exhaustion, the feeling of being tired of everything. Those aren't inconveniences to push through. They're messages to listen to, information to honor, wisdom to follow. So what is your body telling you? What does it need? What would help? Probably rest. Probably slowing down. Probably doing less instead of pushing for more. And maybe you're afraid of that. Maybe you think if you slow down, everything will fall apart. If you rest, you'll fall behind. If you do less, you'll fail. But what if the opposite is true? What if slowing down actually helps you be more effective? What if rest actually increases your capacity? What if doing less allows you to do what matters better? Because you can't sustain this pace. You can't maintain this level of output. You can't keep pushing without rest. Eventually, something will break. And it will probably be you. So before that happens, listen to your body. Honor its signals. Give it what it needs. Rest. Slowness. Less doing. More being. That's not failure. That's wisdom. That's taking care of yourself. That's sustainability. So listen. Tonight. Now. To what your body is telling you. It needs rest. It needs release. It needs you to stop pushing and allow restoration. So give it that. Not tomorrow, not next week. Tonight. Your body has been trying to tell you. Now it's time to listen. Rest. Really rest. Deeply rest. That's what you need. That's what will help. That's what will restore you. So do it. Honor your body's wisdom. Trust its signals. Give it what it needs. Rest. Let me tell you about the rest and productivity cycle, because I think you've forgotten how it works. You think rest is the enemy of productivity, that slowing down means falling behind, that taking breaks means not accomplishing enough. But that's not true. That's not how humans work. That's not sustainable. Actually, rest is essential for productivity. Real productivity. Sustainable productivity. Quality productivity. Because you can't produce consistently without recovery. You can't perform at high levels without restoration. You can't sustain output without input. Rest isn't the opposite of productivity. It's part of the cycle that makes productivity possible. You work, you rest. You work, you rest. That's the natural rhythm. That's how sustainable performance happens. But you've been trying to work constantly. No real rest, no true recovery. just pushing and pushing until you're exhausted. And now you're not actually productive anymore. You're just going through the motions, doing things but not doing them well. Present but not effective. Working but not producing quality results. Because you're depleted. Because you haven't rested. Because you've broken the natural cycle. So what if you honored the cycle? What if you worked hard and then rested fully? What if you allowed recovery to be as important as output? You'd probably be more productive, not less. More effective, not less. Better at what you do, not worse. Because rested people perform better. Recovered people think more clearly. Restored people have the energy and creativity and focus that depleted people don't. So rest isn't stealing time from productivity. It's investing in productivity. It's creating the conditions that make real productivity possible. Tonight is part of that investment. This rest you're taking, it's not wasted time. It's restoration. It's recovery. It's preparation for whatever comes next. So release the guilt about resting. Release the fear that you're falling behind. Release the anxiety about not doing enough. You're doing exactly what you need to do. You're honoring the natural cycle. You're investing in sustainable productivity. Rest now. Work later. Rest again. Work again. That's the rhythm. That's what works. That's what's sustainable. So trust it. Honor it. Live it. Rest isn't the enemy of productivity. It's the foundation of it. So rest tonight, without guilt, without fear, without anxiety. You're not falling behind. You're setting yourself up for success. You're creating the conditions for real productivity. Through rest, through recovery, through restoration. That's wise. That's healthy. That's how sustainable success happens. So rest. Really, truly, deeply rest. And tomorrow, you'll be more capable, more clear, more effective, because you rested, because you honored the cycle, because you invested in recovery. That's how it works. That's what you need. That's what tonight is for. Rest. Now, I want to give you something. Permission. Permission to rest without earning it. Permission to be tired without justifying it. Permission to stop without having done enough. Because I think you've been treating rest like it's something you have to earn. Something you can only have after you've done enough. Something that's a reward for productivity, not a requirement for being human. But that's not true. Rest isn't something you earn. It's something you need. Like breathing. Like water. Like food. You don't earn the right to breathe. You just breathe because you're alive and you need it. Rest is the same. You need it because you're human, not because you've done enough. Not because you've worked hard enough. Not because you've earned it. Just because you're alive, and humans need rest. So tonight, I'm giving you permission. Permission to rest without earning it. Permission to be tired without justifying it. Permission to stop without having done enough. You don't have to do more before you're allowed to rest. You don't have to push harder before you deserve recovery. You don't have to exhaust yourself before rest becomes acceptable. You can rest now, right now, tonight, without doing one more thing. Because you need it. Because you're human. Because rest is a requirement, not a reward. So take the permission. Receive it. Use it. I give you permission to rest. To release the tension, to stop pushing, to just be, not because you've earned it, but because you need it, because you deserve it, simply by being human. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to need rest. You're allowed to stop without having accomplished everything. Those needs are valid. They're real. They're human. So honor them. Without guilt, without shame, without feeling like you haven't done enough. You've done enough. You've done more than enough. And even if you hadn't, you'd still deserve rest. Because rest isn't earned, it's needed. So rest tonight with permission, with acceptance, with the knowledge that you deserve this simply by being human. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to earn it. You just rest because you need it. Because you're human. Because that's enough. So take the permission. Believe it. Use it. You are allowed to rest right now, tonight, without doing one more thing. That's your permission. That's your right. That's your human need. So claim it. Honor it. Use it. Rest. Without earning it. Without justifying it. Without apologizing for it. Just rest. Because you need it. Because you deserve it. Because you're human, and humans need rest. That's your permission. Tonight and always. Rest. Tonight, as you lie here, I want you to release everything. Everything you've been holding, everything you've been carrying, everything you've been tensing against. Start with your face. Feel all the tension there, all the tightness, all the holding, and consciously release it. Let your forehead smooth. Let your eyes soften. Let your jaw unclench. Move to your neck and shoulders. Feel how much you're holding there, how much weight you're carrying, and intentionally let it go. Let your shoulders drop. Let your neck relax. Let the grip release. Down through your chest and stomach. Feel if you're bracing there, if you're holding your breath, and deliberately soften. Let your breath deepen. Let your belly relax. Let the tension melt. All the way through your legs and feet. Feel any remaining holding, any last bits of tension, and purposefully release it. Let your legs be heavy. Let your feet relax. Let everything soften. Now your mind.
Feel all the thoughts spinning, all the worries circling, all the mental activity churning, and gently let it settle. Not fighting it, not forcing it, just allowing it to slow, to quiet, to rest. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to plan or prepare or worry. You just have to rest, to be, to release. So let it all go. The physical tension, the mental activity, the emotional weight, all of it, just for tonight, just for these hours, just while you sleep. Tomorrow will come with its demands, but tonight, you're free. Free to rest. Free to release. Free to just be. So do it. Without holding back. Without half measures. Without keeping part of yourself tense just in case. Release it all. Completely. Fully. Totally. Your body needs this. Your mind needs this. Your whole being needs this. So give it to yourself. The gift of complete release. The gift of total rest. The gift of absolute letting go. You've been holding so much for so long. Tonight, you can set it down. You can release it. You can rest. So do it. Now. Fully. Let go of everything. The tension, the worry, the pressure, the pushing, the trying. Release it all and rest. Deeply. Completely. Totally. That's what tonight is for. That's what you need. That's what will restore you. So claim it. Use it. Rest. Without holding back. Without keeping one eye open. Without maintaining readiness. Just rest. Fully. Deeply. Completely. You're safe. You can let go. You can rest. So do it. Tonight. Now. Release everything. You've carried so much for so long. Not just the things people can see, the work, the responsibilities, the endless doing, but the quiet burdens no one notices, the unspoken worries, the self-blame, the tiny tensions that live between your shoulders and behind your smile. And maybe you've gotten used to it. Maybe you've forgotten what it feels like not to carry so much. Maybe the weight feels like part of who you are now.
but it's not. There's a kind of rest that comes not from stopping, but from releasing. From loosening your grip on all the things you think you must control. From exhaling the stories you keep repeating in your head. The what ifs, the I should haves, the if onlys. You don't have to hold everything together tonight. You don't have to solve it all before you sleep. You don't have to earn your peace. You can let it drop. The tension, the perfection, the trying. You can let it all fall away piece by piece until what's left is just you, bare, breathing, enough. You've done your best, even on the days when it didn't feel like enough. You were still doing your best with what you had. And that's enough for tonight. So let your mind unclench. Let your heart loosen its guard. Let your body melt a little deeper into the softness beneath you. You don't have to be strong right now. You don't have to be anything right now, except here. Rest isn't always about sleeping. Sometimes it's about forgiving yourself for the ways you've pushed too hard. Sometimes it's about admitting that you can't keep everything under control. Sometimes it's simply whispering to yourself, I can set it down now. You don't lose anything by letting go. You gain space for breath, for ease, for softness to return. The truth is, you were never meant to carry all of it alone. You were never meant to be endlessly productive, endlessly perfect, endlessly fine. You were meant to be human. And humans need rest, not just for the body, but for the heart. So tonight, let yourself be held by the quiet. Let the silence be your medicine. Let the stillness wrap around you like a safe place. And as you breathe, let go. Again and again and again. Until you remember what peace feels like. You've earned that peace. You deserve that rest. And you don't need to prove a thing to have it. Just rest. You can rest now. It's okay to let go. Your mind is tired, isn't it? Not just from the things you've done, but from the things you've thought. The endless circling, the planning, the replaying of old conversations, the worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. It's like your brain never gets the chance to stop spinning. Even when your body is still, your mind keeps working, trying to solve, to fix, to predict. But you don't have to keep thinking your way through everything. You don't have to earn rest by understanding every detail. You don't have to hold the world in your head all the time. You can let your mind rest.
You can give yourself permission not to think for a while. You can release the loop of what's next and what if and what did I do wrong. Right now, there's nowhere else you need to be. No one else you need to impress. No problem that requires a solution this very second. Just breathe. Let the air move through you like an ocean wave. In and out. Let it wash away the mental clutter, the noise that doesn't belong to you. Let it take with it all the words and plans and worries that have filled your mind until it feels too full to hold anything else. It's okay to pause the problem solving. It's okay to stop organizing, analyzing, or predicting for a little while. You won't fall behind by resting your mind. You'll come back clearer, lighter, steadier. Think of your mind like a lake. When it's stirred by constant movement, the surface becomes cloudy. You can't see through it. But when the wind settles, when everything goes still, the water clears. The reflection returns. That's what rest does for your thoughts. It doesn't erase them. It softens them. It gives space for clarity to return. You don't have to force silence. You just have to allow quiet. Even if the thoughts still whisper, you can sit beside them instead of chasing them. You can let them drift past like clouds across the sky. Noticed, but not clung to. Your mind doesn't have to be empty to be at peace. It just has to be gentle. It just has to stop fighting itself. So tonight, let your thoughts slow down. Let them unravel on their own time. You can rest between them in the small, sacred spaces of stillness. You are allowed to think less. You are allowed to be still. You are allowed to rest your mind. And as you do, you'll remember, peace was never gone. It was simply waiting beneath the noise, ready to meet you when you stopped trying so hard to find it. Your body remembers everything. Every moment you said, "I'm fine," when you weren't. Every time you kept going when you needed to stop. Every breath you held in when life felt too heavy. Every night you told yourself, just one more thing, just one more hour, when what you really needed was sleep. You've taught your body to endure, to push through the pain, to move through exhaustion,
to ignore the quiet signals it sends when it's pleading for rest. But your body isn't your enemy. It's not an obstacle standing between you and productivity. It's your oldest friend, your home, your witness, your constant companion. And it's been whispering to you softly, patiently. Slow down. Please, slow down. You don't have to wait for burnout to listen. You don't have to collapse to earn rest. You can start now with one long breath, with one unclenched jaw, with one moment of kindness toward the body that carries you. Feel your shoulders drop a little lower. Feel your chest expand with air that doesn't have to rush anywhere. Feel the weight of your body supported fully by whatever holds you right now. You don't have to lift it. You don't have to carry it. You can let yourself be held. Your body is not asking for perfection. It's asking for partnership. It doesn't need you to look a certain way or perform at a certain pace. It just needs you to listen, to feed it gently, to move it kindly, to let it rest when it's tired. Rest is not laziness. Rest is repair. Rest is remembering that you are human, not a machine built to run without stopping. You can let yourself slow down without guilt. You can stretch, breathe, and rest without needing to justify it. You can release the idea that rest must be earned through exhaustion. You've done enough. You are enough. Your body doesn't need to prove its worth through doing. It's worthy because it exists, because it's been keeping you alive through sleepless nights, through long days, through all the times you forgot to thank it. So thank it now. Thank your hands for what they've held. Thank your legs for where they've carried you. Thank your lungs for the air they've kept moving, even when you forgot to breathe deeply. And tonight, let your body rest. Let it unclench. Let it remember that safety is possible, that softness is allowed, that stillness is enough. You don't need to push through one more thing. You don't need to hold yourself up. You can rest. You can stop. You can simply be. And your body will thank you for it. There's a kind of exhaustion that sleep can't fix. It's the weariness that comes from trying to hold the universe in your hands, from needing to understand why everything happens, from trying to make life make sense all the time. You've carried the weight of questions that have no easy answers. You've prayed for clarity, for direction, for peace. And sometimes it felt like no one was listening. But maybe peace doesn't come from knowing. Maybe it comes from releasing the need to know. Maybe the real rest you're craving isn't control. It's surrender. Surrender isn't giving up. It's letting go of the illusion that you were ever meant to carry it all alone. It's placing the pieces of your life, the confusion, the pain, the hopes, in the hands of something larger, and saying, I trust that I don't have to have all the answers tonight. You don't need to force faith. You don't need to feel certain. You just need to be open, even slightly, to the possibility that life is holding you, even now. Maybe everything doesn't have to make sense right away. Maybe the meaning comes later, in quiet ways you can't see yet. Maybe your only task right now is to breathe and let yourself be carried for a while. There is grace in not knowing. There is healing in the pause between questions. There is rest in saying, I don't know, but I'll trust anyway. You can let your spirit exhale. You can release the striving, the analyzing, the endless seeking. You can lay down the pressure to have it all figured out. You are allowed to rest. Not because everything is clear, but because you're finally allowing life to move through you, instead of trying to control every direction it takes. Trust that the universe, God, the energy that holds everything together, whatever you call it, has not forgotten you. Even when you feel lost, you're still on your path. Even when you feel disconnected, you're still part of something vast and loving. Sometimes, rest isn't about stepping away from the world. It's about remembering you belong to it, that you are part of something bigger, that you don't have to hold it all, because it's already holding you. So tonight, let your soul rest in that truth. You can stop trying. You can stop fixing. You can stop fighting the unknown. Just be. Let yourself be guided. Let yourself be loved. Let yourself rest inside something greater, something that doesn't need your effort to exist, only your trust to be felt. You don't have to do anything else. You can surrender. And that is sacred rest. Hezbollah, a time when creating felt effortless. Ideas came like rain, soft, steady, endless. You didn't question whether what you made was good enough. You just followed the pull, the joy, the spark. But somewhere along the way, that spark dimmed. Deadlines, expectations, comparisons. They all crept in quietly, until creation became pressure. Until something that once brought you peace started to drain you instead. And maybe now you tell yourself you're blocked, that the inspiration is gone, that you've lost your touch. But you haven't lost it. It's just resting. It's waiting for you to slow down long enough to find it again. Because creativity doesn't thrive under pressure. It blooms in safety. It blooms in softness, in boredom, in stillness. It blooms when you stop forcing it to perform on command. You don't need to push yourself to make something right now. You don't need to be productive to be creative. You can rest your imagination too. You can refill the well that inspiration drinks from. Go outside. Let sunlight touch your skin. Listen to the rhythm of the rain. Do something that isn't useful. Do something slow. Let beauty find you without asking for anything in return. The truth is, creativity never leaves. It just grows quiet when it's tired. It needs the same rest you do. A chance to breathe, to feel, to observe again. When you rest, you make space for wonder to return. You start noticing colors again. You start hearing meaning in small things. A laugh, a line in a song, the way light moves through trees. You start to feel that familiar hum of aliveness that says, "There's something inside me that wants to create." And when that feeling comes back, don't rush it. Don't demand it to be perfect. Just listen. Follow the soft tug. Play. Create because it feels good, not because it needs to be good. Paint because the color calls you. Write because the words are knocking softly. Sing because your heart remembers the melody. Rest doesn't mean the end of your creativity. It's part of its rhythm. Inhale. Exhale. Create. Rest. Rest. Create. This is the cycle of all living things. Expansion and contraction. Movement and stillness. You're not broken for needing to pause. You're human for needing to breathe. So tonight, let your creative self rest. Let your imagination stretch its limbs in silence. It will come back to you, not as pressure, but as peace. You don't need to chase it. Just rest. And when it's ready, it will find you again, like it always has. You love people deeply. You listen. You care. You show up. You give your time, your energy, your presence, often without thinking twice. You carry the emotions of those you love like invisible weights in your pockets, and you've done it for so long that sometimes you forget what your own energy feels like. It's not that you don't love them. You do. It's just that even love can become heavy when you never set it down. There's a kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from doing too much, but from absorbing too much. Too many conversations, too many expectations, too many emotions that aren't yours to hold. You've been available for everyone else, but when was the last time you were available for yourself? You don't have to disappear to rest. You just have to return. Return to your center. Return to your own stillness. Return to the quiet truth inside you that says, I can't pour from an empty cup. It's okay to take space. It's okay to not answer right away. It's okay to be quiet, to go unseen for a while. You don't owe the world constant access to your energy. Your presence is sacred, not a public service. Social rest doesn't mean cutting people out. It means remembering where you end and where they begin. It means releasing the guilt that comes with saying no. It means honoring your own limits without apology or explanation. There will always be people who misunderstand your boundaries. That's okay. Your peace isn't up for debate. And the people meant for you will understand that your silence isn't rejection. It's restoration. When you rest socially, you create space to hear your own thoughts again, to remember what feels right for you, to refill the well from which your love flows. You don't have to keep being on. You don't have to smile through depletion. You don't have to keep performing emotional labor for the sake of peace. The world will wait. Your people will wait. And the ones who truly care will be glad when you return. Calmer, clearer, more yourself. So tonight, give yourself permission to withdraw a little. Turn off the noise. Put the phone down. Let the world move without you for a while. You are allowed to rest from being the strong one, the listener, the dependable one. Let others hold themselves for now. Let life breathe without you having to manage it. And as the quiet settles in, you'll start to feel it. The subtle hum of your own energy returning. The peace that was always yours. You're not being distant. You're coming home. Safety doesn't always mean walls and locks. Sometimes it means being able to exhale fully, without wondering who's watching. It means speaking without rehearsing first, feeling without apologizing, resting without guilt.
Emotional safety is the kind of peace that lives in the body before the mind even names it. It's what your nervous system has been searching for. A space where it doesn't have to stay alert, doesn't have to keep scanning for what might go wrong next. You've lived in alertness for so long. Always ready, always cautious, always trying to be one step ahead of pain or disappointment. You learned that being careful would keep you safe, but it also kept you tired, because protection is heavy. Constant vigilance wears you down. Your heart wasn't made to live in defense mode forever. So tonight, you can put the armor down. You can unclench your chest. You can stop waiting for the next thing to go wrong. You can remind your body that this moment, right here, is safe. Safety begins inside you. It starts as a whisper, not a certainty. A quiet reminder that you are allowed to be here as you are, without earning the right to stay. You don't need to prove your worth to rest. You don't need to explain your emotions to deserve care. You don't need to hide the parts of yourself that feel too tender. You are allowed to be fully seen and still safe. You are allowed to be soft and still strong. You are allowed to be honest and still loved. The people who are meant for you will never make you shrink to fit inside their comfort. They will make space for your whole being, your calm, your chaos, your quiet, your light. But even before that, you can start giving that safety to yourself. When the fear rises, whisper, "I'm safe here." When the old panic stirs, remind your body, this moment is not the past. When the memories tighten your throat, say, "I can breathe. I am home now." That's what emotional rest feels like. Not a lack of feeling, but the freedom to feel everything without being consumed by it. You can stop guarding yourself against every possible pain. You can let peace reach the parts of you that have been braced for impact for years. Safety doesn't mean nothing will ever hurt again. It means you trust that you can survive what comes and still remain open, still remain whole, still remain you. So rest now. Let your body believe it's okay to soften. Let your heart believe it's safe to stay open. You are safe. You are allowed to rest. You are home in yourself.
There comes a point when fighting life becomes too heavy. When every attempt to fix, to perfect, to understand just makes the ache louder. When you realize that maybe the peace you've been chasing isn't waiting on the other side of change. It's waiting inside this very moment, right here, right now. Acceptance is not giving up. It's giving in to what is, to reality as it stands, without resistance, without judgment, to the truth that this moment, even with its flaws, even with its uncertainty, is enough to hold you. You don't have to like everything to accept it. You don't have to be happy about what's happened to stop fighting it. You can still wish things were different, and also stop waging war with what's here. Because fighting the present never changes it. It only drains you. And you're tired, aren't you? Tired of swimming upstream against things you can't control. Tired of replaying what should have been. Tired of waiting to feel okay until life looks a certain way. So let this be the moment you stop running. Not because you've lost hope, but because you've found grace. You can breathe in the truth of what is, without resistance, without panic. You can look at your life and whisper, "This is where I am." And for now, that's okay. Acceptance doesn't mean you'll stay here forever. It just means you're no longer rejecting the moment you're in. It means you've decided to make peace with now, instead of postponing peace until things are better. When you accept the moment, you stop living from tension and start living from trust. You soften your grip on outcomes, on timelines, on control. And something beautiful happens. You begin to rest. Rest from striving. Rest from perfection. Rest from needing to constantly prove that you're doing life right. The truth is, there's no right way to live this human experience. There's only your way. And it's unfolding exactly as it needs to. You've made mistakes, yes. You've taken detours. You've learned hard lessons. But all of it has brought you here. And here is where your peace begins. When you accept the present, you create space for what's next to unfold naturally. You stop forcing and start allowing. You stop judging and start witnessing. You stop clenching and start breathing. So tonight, stop fighting yourself. Stop trying to earn the right to rest. You don't need to be fixed. You just need to be accepted. Let this moment be enough. Let yourself be enough. Inhale reality. Exhale resistance.
This is peace. This is rest. This is acceptance. And it's enough. There are weights we carry that don't live on our shoulders. They live in our hearts. Old grudges, unspoken pain, moments that still replay behind closed eyes, words that were never said, or ones we wish we could take back. Forgiveness is not about pretending it didn't hurt. It's about deciding that your peace matters more than your anger. It's about choosing to stop reopening wounds just to prove how deep they were. You've been carrying too much pain for too long. The weight of what they did. The weight of what you wish you'd done differently. The weight of all the apologies that never came. You don't have to carry it anymore. Because forgiveness isn't about excusing the past. It's about freeing the present. It's about loosening the grip the past still has on you, so that you can breathe again, fully. Sometimes forgiveness feels impossible. The pain feels too deep, the betrayal too sharp. But forgiveness doesn't have to happen all at once. It can happen slowly, quietly, like a thaw after a long winter. You begin by softening, by saying, I don't want to keep hurting because of this anymore. That's where rest begins. When you forgive, you reclaim your energy from the past. You stop letting old wounds write the story of who you are. You stop defining yourself by what broke you. You begin to remember that peace is a choice, one that no one else can make for you. And then there's another kind of forgiveness, the kind that feels even harder, forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for the choices you made when you didn't know better, for the times you stayed too long, for the words you regret, the silence you kept, the things you didn't do when you were just trying to survive. You did the best you could with what you knew then. You were learning. You were human. You still are. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean ignoring accountability. It means releasing shame. It means allowing yourself to grow without punishment. It means saying, I am more than my mistakes. That's rest. The deep kind. The kind that seeps into your soul and untangles all the knots that pain left behind. So tonight, take a moment to lay those weights down. You don't have to hold the anger. You don't have to carry the guilt. You don't have to keep waiting for closure that may never come. You can give it to yourself. Whisper it softly. I forgive you. To them if you can. To yourself especially if you can't. Let that forgiveness be your rest.
not because they deserve it, but because you do. You deserve to feel light again. You deserve to feel free. You deserve to rest in peace. Not the kind that comes after life, but the kind that lets you truly live it. There comes a moment after the stillness, after the letting go, after all the tears that softened the sharp edges, when you realize something inside you has shifted. It's subtle at first, a lighter breath, a thought that doesn't sting the way it used to, a small spark of curiosity about tomorrow, about yourself, about life. This is what renewal feels like. Not fireworks, not sudden joy, just a gentle rising from within, like the first light after a long night. You've spent so long surviving, so long holding on, so long learning how to stop running from pain. And now, without even meaning to, you've begun to step into peace. Rest has done what effort never could. It has rebuilt you quietly. It has given your heart time to remember its rhythm. It has shown you that healing doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like patience. Sometimes it looks like staying still long enough for life to find you again. You are not who you were when this began. You're softer, but stronger, calmer, but deeper. You no longer rush to fix every broken thing. You've learned that some things mend in silence, and some are not meant to be fixed at all, just felt, honored, and released. You've learned to rest without guilt, to pause without apology, to trust that even when nothing seems to be happening, something beautiful is still growing beneath the surface. That's renewal. It's quiet, sacred, slow. It doesn't demand attention. It simply is. So when you wake tomorrow, don't rush to fill the space you've finally cleared. Don't chase the next thing. Let the peace linger. Let it soak into your bones, like sunlight warming a room that's been dark too long. You don't have to reinvent yourself overnight. You don't have to start fresh in the way the world tells you to. You're already new. Not because everything changed, but because you have. You've rested your body. You've quieted your mind. You've soothed your heart. You've released what was heavy, and in doing so, you've made space for something lighter, something truer, to bloom. This is the beginning of ease. This is what renewal feels like. Not escape, but return. Return to peace. Return to softness. Return to yourself. So breathe one more deep, slow breath. Feel it fill every part of you that once ached. Feel the stillness settle, not as emptiness, but as presence. You made it here, through the noise, through the exhaustion, through all the nights you thought you wouldn't. And now you know. Rest was never the end of your story. It was the doorway. You have rested. You have released. And now you rise. Not as who you were before, but as who you were always meant to become. Soft, whole, alive. So here we are, at the end of our time together tonight. And I hope you feel different, softer, less tense, more ready to actually rest. Because that's what you need, real rest, deep rest, the kind that actually restores you. You've been so tired, so tense, so exhausted with everything. And that's been your body telling you something important. Slow down, rest, release. You can't sustain this pace. So tonight, you listened. You released the tension. You gave yourself permission to rest. You allowed yourself to let go. And that's huge. That's important. That's exactly what you needed. Sleep well tonight, knowing you've done something essential for yourself. You've honored your body's signals. You've given yourself what you need. You've allowed real rest. Tomorrow might bring its demands. The tension might try to return. The pushing might want to start again. But now you know. You know what rest feels like. You know you need it. You know you're allowed to take it. So keep honoring that. Keep releasing the tension. Keep allowing rest. Keep listening to your body's wisdom, not just tonight, but regularly, consistently, as part of your life. Because you can't keep pushing without rest. You can't stay tense without breaking. You can't ignore your exhaustion without consequences. So make rest a priority. Make release a practice. Make restoration a regular part of your life. Not someday, not when everything is done, but now, regularly, consistently. You deserve it. You need it. It's essential for your well-being. So claim it. Protect it. Honor it. Rest. Release. Restore. Tonight and ongoing. Regularly. Without guilt. You're not being lazy. You're being wise. You're not giving up.
You're sustaining yourself. You're not failing. You're honoring your humanness. So rest well tonight. And tomorrow, remember what you learned. Remember what you need. Remember that you're allowed. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to release tension. You're allowed to stop being tired of everything by actually resting. Sleep well tonight. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to push. You can just be tired. Just be human. Just be you. And that's enough. You're enough. Even tired. Even needing rest. Even exhausted. You're enough. Good night, dear one. Rest deeply. Release completely. Restore fully. You're tired of everything because you've been giving everything without receiving anything. Tonight, you received. You rested. You restored. Keep doing that. It's how you survive. It's how you thrive. It's how you sustain. Rest well. You've earned it. Not by doing more, but by being human. And humans need rest. Sweet dreams.